This is the Daily Dirty.
The Daily Dirty. Breaking pop culture news, influencer drama, and everything in between.
Daily Dirty.
On Unwell On Air.
Welcome to the Daily Dirty. I'm Sequoia Holmes.
I'm Fiona Shea.
I'm Owen Thiele.
We have Unwell's very own Owen Thiele in the studio today. Owen is the host of the podcast In Your Dreams. He's also an actor in two very exciting upcoming projects that we're going to talk about today, Adults and Overcompensating. Owen, welcome.
Hi. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here.
So happy
To be
have
on this
you.
green couch with you guys.
We love a
Thank you.
green couch.
No, it's really comfortable.
Thank you.
I wish everyone could experience this couch.
I'm so happy that you're loving it.
Oh, I'm falling asleep.
How does this compare to your In Your Dreams set at home?
So let me tell you something. I famously don't sleep. So
Yes, don't you have like crazy sleep schedule?
I sleep 2 hours a night. And this is true. This is
Really?
true. I know. Everyone's scared. Everyone's scared.
I
Doctors
am
are shaking.
scared.
Doctors are shaking. But my set is a bed. So to me, actually, I could fall asleep on a couch. A bed is it's too on the nose. It's like, you're not going to fall asleep on a bed. You're not comfortable on a bed. I sleep 2 hours a night. I'd rather sleep on a couch, ultimately.
Okay,
I think it'll actually put me to
I'm
put
so
me to
happy
sleep.
you feel at home here.
I feel really at home here. Thank you for having me.
Can you sleep on planes?
It's the one place I can sleep.
Wow, that's a sleeping
That
place
or
for
in a
you.
car.
Okay.
Wow,
Planes-
but just not a bed.
But that's an expensive habit, having to go on a plane to sleep.
Very
Imagine.
sense of habit.
Imagine.
Yes.
We also have my mother in the studio today. Welcome, Rosie Shea. We're going to play a fun game with you in a little
Hello.
too.
So excited to be here.
My mom is a huge fan of Daily Dirty.
Who isn't?
She tunes in every day. She's never missed an episode.
Never once.
And she's one of my besties, maybe number one.
No, thank you.
We'll see how this trip goes. See how this Cali visit
It
goes.
made it out the group chat. We'll see how it goes.
Because my mom is in town and she is a huge fan of the show, we thought we would play a little game with her called What's the Tea? Okay, so we're going to project two people from recent pop culture stories that we've talked about on the Daily Dirty. My mom is going to look at the screen. We'll tell you who it is. And in a few words, tell us the tea between these two people. You got it, Mom?
I'm ready.
Okay. So turn to your right and read us who these people are.
This is Bad Baby and Alabama Parker.
What's the tea between them, Mom?
So the tea is they definitely had a rap beef.
Yes.
Yes.
And Alabama Parker is Travis. I forget his last name, but he's one of the Kardashian
Well, what's her last name?
Barker.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Travis Barker's daughter.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. And then Bad Baby is a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember where she originally entered the scene? How she originally entered the scene and became famous? You get bonus
Disney.
points.
No, I have no
That was
idea.
a good
my
guess.
God, that would have
That
been
was a
iconic.
fantastic guess.
Bad Baby on Disney.
Is it a
On
far
guest
cry?
starring?
No, that
Guest
makes
starring on That's So Raven.
Very
Bad Baby.
much.
Maybe Mickey Mouse Club?
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
It was
No, I'm not
Dr.
sure.
Phil.
Oh.
She was on Dr. Phil.
Okay.
You don't remember when she was on Dr. Phil, Catch Me Outside? How about that?
I don't remember.
That's not ringing a bell? Okay,
No.
we're
okay.
stretching it.
That's okay.
Okay.
That was good, though, Mom.
That was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Fantastic job.
Thank you.
All right, next round. Who do we have here?
Oh, yes. We know Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. We know Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria.
Of course.
Which my mom watched.
Oh, nice.
In entirety.
Wow.
She would call me after and be like, wow.
Very wow.
After the first episode, my friend and I called each other like, oh my gosh. And then we fell in love with it.
No.
But they were going to be married and they split up
Yeah.
recently.
Absolutely.
Is that true? No, or are they together
Oh,
now?
Not
You know what?
Well, yeah, they were going to be married separately,
They-
right?
Exactly.
Or one of them was going to be.
Wait,
Wasn't Sydney
so-
supposed to be married?
Yes. Sydney
she was
supposed to be-
engaged.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is her new. Oh, and they went to the wedding. She
Yeah,
went to
yes,
the wedding.
yes.
She went to his
Sister, I
sister's
think.
wedding, and that was a big deal because you're going to the wedding. So that's where. Okay, but she had previously, I think, been engaged.
Yes.
And then to an older person who Sequoia did not love the age difference.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
Wow.
so, but that's why it confused me because they.
Everyone, you know what? That's fair. Everyone's confused by Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney's relationship. Okay, next round we have. Who's that, Mom?
Okay, Lamar Odom and the sex doll.
Yes.
Which this was a big deal because
I don't know this. So, Rosie, you're going to teach me this.
Well,
I don't
the
know
sex
this.
doll looks like one of the Kardashians who he was married to.
There we go. Perfect.
Good
Perfect.
job, Mom.
Yes.
Wait, is that true? It looks like Chloe?
It was supposed to be modeled after Chloe.
Wait, and he bought it?
Yes.
Oh, he got it custom made.
He got it custom
He went to the factory and posted a video of him getting it custom made.
That's him picking her out right there on that
You
photo
guys,
where he's
this
squeezing.
I am learning so much on the Daily Dirty. You guys didn't tell me this is educational.
You didn't know it was that dirty.
Come on, I didn't
It
know it
is
was that dirty.
We going there.
Wow.
Anything else to say about that, Mom?
No, but I think you can customize these things now, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we have Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood. And those people are from the White Lotus.
Yes.
I won't give
What's
away
the
the
tea
end.
between
oh,
them?
Oh, the tea.
Don't give away that.
Right.
So
You
the,
spoil the series. Iconic.
That's okay. You should have seen it by now.
Iconic.
the tea between them is that I think they were on set and the wife got mad that they were getting too close.
Yes.
Wow.
And then for right now he's kind of like whatever and she's a little mad at him still. I think.
Whoa, Rosie,
Yes.
you are crushing
Yeah.
it.
You're
Wow.
And
Yes.
He liked the Saturday Night Live skit.
He did.
She did not.
Correct.
Yep.
Kind of don't blame her, but
Totally.
but it was a funny skit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great. You crushed that one.
So good.
Okay, this is the last round.
Okay, this is Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey, and this was the space trip, which only took 10 minutes,
Yes.
according to the Daily Dirty.
Where you get all
Did
your
it?
pop culture news.
And-
Yeah, they were only
and
up
Oprah,
there.
And Oprah,
Round trip, 10 minutes to space.
11 minutes
Oh my
and
God,
21 seconds.
we could do that right now.
Yes.
We could do that during the commercial break. Let's go.
Truly.
Let's
Let's
do it.
go, yeah.
Yes, and that was Oprah crying with glee, with happiness that Gail, her bestie, came back
And,
safe.
and what do you think about their relationship, Gail and Oprah?
Well, I love that they're best friends.
You
I
love
have
that
to
they're
say,
best friends.
yeah, I love that they're best friends.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm into them. I like them.
You don't think there's anything more happening?
No, they're just besties.
I love Gayle King. I have to
Yeah?
I have to say that.
You're
I
a
love
Gayle
Gayle.
gal?
I met her once. She put her number in my phone.
No.
This is a true story. This is actually my claim to fame. She put her number in my
Okay.
phone. I put my number in her phone. She texted me, and I have so many text messages from these group chats from high school that I don't answer
Yeah.
that they just keep. So I have like 3,000 texts. So Gayle King texted me,
missed.
and I missed the text. And now I'm too
Owen.
embarrassed to go back and text her because now it looks like I'm like trying to get in that.
Blue
that-
Origin
yeah,
trip.
I'm trying to go to space. You know what I mean? So I can't. Every time I try to text her, there's like a Gayle King article that comes out, so it looks like I'm trying to be opportunistic. But really, I just miss your text, Gayle, and I love you.
I know. Just tell her that you're excited that she made it home safely.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get your assistant going through your text so you don't miss any more texts from Gayle
Hello.
King.
Very
Yes,
much.
yes. That's the one thing he has to do.
Okay, well, you passed with flying colors.
You were
Yes.
amazing.
So good.
That was unbelievable.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yes.
I
so
love
much
the
for
Daily Dirty.
joining, Mom, and for being our #1 fan.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and we are your #1 fans.
Oh, you're so nice, Sequoia.
Thank
and
you.
nice meeting you.
So nice to meet you. We have a band. We're starting a
I
band.
know.
You and
I
I.
can't wait.
Okay, we'll talk
You're
after.
starting a band. You're starting a podcast.
We're,
got a
we're
lot
starting a
going
lot.
on.
You're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have to
yeah.
hit up Gayle
We're going to
King.
space. Yeah. Oh my God. We have a busy week, Rosie. Yikes.
Rumors are flying about a potential romance between Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler. And we have some updates about our fave, Wendy Williams, plus a look into our For You pages and TV Tuesday, where we talk about our guest co-host Owen Thiele's upcoming projects. But first, a surprise Victorious reunion at Coachella.
Yeah, okay, so you guys seem to be very fluent in Victorious.
Yes.
So I'm going to kick it to you after. But this was a big deal because former co-stars Victoria Justice and Leon Thomas III reunited at Coachella. I didn't realize that Leon Thomas III had so many incredible contributions to music since he was on Victorious,
Yeah.
which is really cool too. Sequoia, You know a lot about. You've been keeping up with Leon.
Oh, I know about Leon. Oh yeah. I have just a little tiny crush on Leon. The talent is so immense.
You did say that the other day that you love talented boys.
I love talented boys. Shout out
Totally.
to my fiance Garrick, the talentedest boy. Okay, Leon is so talented.
That's amazing. Have you always had a crush on him?
No, when he was on Victorious, I had no thoughts one way or the other.
Totally.
And then he started popping up on my TikTok FYP. And I was like, who the fuck told me that he had vocals like that? Nobody told me.
Wow.
Okay.
And I watched Victorious.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were Victorious? Sorry. What were the characters?
Yes.
Tori Vega.
Tori Vega.
Of course.
Yes.
That is Victoria Justice's
Yes,
character.
yes.
Okay, and what was her relationship with Andre Harris, who is Leon's
Leon.
character?
They were friends.
They went to school together
Yes.
to Hollywood Arts.
To Hollywood Arts.
Performing arts school.
You know what's crazy? I've never seen an episode of Victorious.
Which
No,
is crazy
you're
because
lying.
you're younger than you're younger than both of us. And I was almost too old to be watching this fucking show. I was I was pushing it.
I loved Victorious.
Maybe it's because you both
Deeply.
are LA.
Maybe so.
Totally.
So
I
it like
also-
hit a little closer to home.
Maybe
I
so.
loved Ariana on that show.
I was an Ariana fan the moment that I laid eyes on
Really?
Kat Valentine. I was like, whoever that girl is,
Wow.
star.
Sam
I
and
said
Kat.
it.
Did you ever watch the spinoff?
No, but I'm familiar.
Okay.
Familiar enough. Okay, so what was Tori Vega's vibe on Victorious? Because she was the star, and then Kat comes in, and what was their
Kat
dynamic?
it was Ariana Grande. So, come on, The Voice.
Yeah,
it
right.
wasn't. So every time she would sing, it was like, stop the show, give her a record deal.
Cut it.
was-
Cut it.
Cut
it off. Cut the camera's dead ass.
Literally.
Give her a record deal.
Now,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
That's what
very
you would
much.
feel-
That is exactly how I
I felt like that every time I'd actually watch for her voice.
Yes.
At
Same.
a certain point.
I remember when they did the Freak the Freak Out, the karaoke
Oh my God,
song
with
that
Liz.
they did with
With
Liz
Liz
Gillies. And their vocals went insane.
Really?
I
And they were,
couldn't
like,
believe it.
15.
They were so young.
So young,
They were
and
babies.
You were like Broadway for her, for Liz, and a huge
Wow.
record deal for Ariana. And I feel like, to be honest, we called it.
We did.
I feel like we
we
called it.
literally called it.
I'm sorry.
We called it.
I'm sorry, because I think people watching that show were just like, oh wow, they got talented people, and I was like, no, she has something special.
You guys aren't getting it.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at her.
Trust
That's
me.
her.
Exactly.
I knew that was her.
I did too.
And Tori's character was really annoying. They didn't set Victoria Justice up for
They
success
didn't.
with this television show. I
Even
swear to
though
God.
she was the main character.
She was the main character, and they did not set my girl up for success because her character was insufferable and annoying.
Okay, was she like a Leah Michelle type, like from Glee, like a try-hard
No.
singer?
Not even. She
No.
was just very much a nothing burger.
Okay,
And
She
when
was
she
just
was
there.
talking, she was kind of like giving know-it-all, just like
understood.
But I will say, I don't know if you felt this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember loving watching her because she was so beautiful.
yes, she.
I mean, she
stunning.
is still stunning. She
Stunning.
was so stunning that every time she would enter the frame, I'd be like, oh, she's so pretty.
She's nice to look at.
Yeah, she's so nice to look at. And she was
Yeah,
was good at playing that character. She's
sure.
a great actress. And by
sure.
the way, she had a great music career as well.
She did.
That
And don't
popped off for a
forget,
second.
She was on Zoe 101, so I already knew that she was a very capable
Totally.
actress.
Good
you know,
point.
I loved that character. It was way weirder, way more fun than the character she played on Victorious. So I was
Understood.
aware that she was great.
Yeah. She was great.
Didn't
She
like
was
her
great.
character. That they
Okay.
had her playing.
And fans are really excited because Victoria Justice posted a photo of her and Leon captioned, "Festival fun in the sun at Revolve. Love partying with old and new friends at Revolve Fest."
I have to say something about that caption.
Okay.
That caption was clearly like in an email from Revolve.
Yes.
That was like suggested copy. And then like
Yes.
she copied him. Like, I will say, I love you, Victoria Justice. I love you. I do. But change the caption, my love.
Personalize it.
Personalize
You
it.
think she made a bag off that caption though?
I think she made a bag off that post, but guess what? We're all talking about it, so she's a genius.
Right. And
She's
she
a
has our
genius.
boy Leon on there.
Come
and
on.
Leon is also an underrated king. Although I did not immediately clock it like I did Ariana Grande on Victorious.
Totally.
Leon has gone on to make incredible contributions to music. He wrote for and contributed music towards Ariana Grande's Positions. I love that he keeps in contact with his girlies, you
Totally.
know? Victoria,
Yeah, that's really
Ariana.
cool. So he's a producer and writer.
He's a musician and a songwriter, so he writes the music and he
makes
plays
the
the
music.
instruments.
He's
Okay.
He plays
talented.
instruments too. So
Cool.
talented.
Yeah.
He has credits on Drake's Certified Lover Boy, credits with Toni Braxton, Babyface, Rick Ross, like SZA. He wrote Snooze.
I know that's a big
That's
realization for me.
crazy.
And that voice in the beginning, like the kind of distorted voice, I'm not even going to attempt to do it.
Okay.
That's Leon's vocals.
No way.
Yeah, that's Leon's vocals, and then it goes into SZA.
No way.
Yes, the first
Wow.
voice you hear is Leon's voice.
I'm telling you, this podcast is educational. It's educate. I'm learning.
I did not know about your motion, Leon
Oh, yeah.
Thomas
Leo-
III.
If nothing else,
Totally.
Leon got motion, okay? He has motion. I love.
Really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun reunion.
Very fun reunion. And
It's
then
great.
Victorious has been in some good stuff too lately. She's been in a Netflix, I don't know if it's a film or a TV show, called A Perfect Pairing.
Okay.
She's been on a thriller. She has a recurring role on Suits LA. Like,
Oh my
she
Which
God.
I've been curious
She
to
has stuff
watch.
doing. Yeah, same.
I have to watch that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she had 4 non-album singles in 2024. Okay, so she's putting out music too.
Period.
Wow. And she's in an indie film that my friend directed
Oh.
called California King. Shout out Eli Stern.
Ooh.
Wow.
Look at him go.
Okay, California King. She's
California
doing indie.
King.
She's doing
She's-
Netflix. She's
There we
got
go.
the full
She's
spectrum.
everywhere.
Well, she's Victoria Justice. You have to do an indie and you have to do a Netflix. You
Miss
know what I mean?
Worldwide, yeah.
Smart agents.
Round out the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, what is kind of trending online right now is, I don't know if you guys have seen, Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler are in an upcoming film together called Caught Stealing, and photos of them kissing are circulating online, and people are quickly jumping to conclusions being like, oh my gosh, they're dating, or they clearly have some sort of relationship offset as well. Which, you know, we don't clearly know quite yet. I mean, they're looking good kissing in the photo, but
So is the photo from set?
Yes, it's a set photo.
which caught me off guard. Like, you guys are posting this like, oh, they're kissing in the streets. That's different than kissing on set.
100%. I mean, they play lovers it's not like they're kissing on set in their trailers, right? They play lovers in the movie.
Yes, exactly.
So we can't conclude anything.
There is no conclusion to be drawn here.
Come on.
We literally.
But if someone knows something, let us know.
I know.
Please DM
Call
us.
Yeah, DM
You
us.
know, I
Seriously.
hate to quote Drake, but he says if they don't have a story these days, they'll make one.
Ooh.
Very much
Whoa.
giving. Very much giving. Made something up.
Well,
And
Drake
because-
wrote it about this.
He did. He read about this and he was like,
of course, he heard the segment,
100%.
and then he did this. Yeah,
Naturally.
he wrote that lyric.
I feel like Zoe has been in the spotlight right now ever since she and Channing broke up. They ended their engagement, I should say. She was seen with Noah Centineo, who is a hot younger man. I suppose maybe a couple weeks ago, I think back in New York, leaving a bar. And so I think people are just really trying to ship her right now.
They
and be like,
are.
right? Like,
Yes.
who is Zoe going to date next? Because she's such an it girl.
She's also the hottest person alive.
and she's
Very much.
truly
Yeah.
the best looking person alive.
I
Right.
mean, like ever.
Like,
Like ever.
Period.
Like, yeah. Period.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
So
ever seen her in person? Have you ever seen her
it
beauty
is
up close?
striking.
Yes.
Really?
It is like you lose your breath and then you ultimately want to go home because you're like, I don't have anything else to. No reason to be here.
She just
Not
seems
one
so-
person is looking at me. By the way, I'm
Then you
gay. We're
wanna
not competing
go
for the same men. And let me tell you something. I still am like, those gay guys will fall for you.
I have to
They
go.
are. Yeah, I have to leave.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful, and she's like effortless, and she doesn't
Yeah.
try that hard, and
No.
she's just her skin is perfect.
Ethereal. She seems ethereal.
ethereal.
That
I
feels
just-
like with her presence.
And she just has that attitude to her too. Like,
Totally.
I don't know, obviously she has famous parents, but she has that like New York attitude that I love. Like
Right.
that she
Totally.
like kind of don't give a fuck, like say what's on her mind.
Totally.
Right.
She's real.
Yeah.
She
She's
is
real.
real. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that though, like when someone's so pretty that you're like, I would just have to go home.
I'll just go home now. No, seriously, you feel that way. You feel that way.
No, I've had that experience before. Stay with us. We're taking a quick break, but we'll be right back to talk all about how Wendy Williams is doing amid her conservatorship battle. Welcome back to the Daily Dirty. I'm Sequoia.
I'm Fiona.
I'm Owen.
We finally have positive Wendy Williams news. On Friday, she was spotted dancing the night away in New York City.
Yeah, so a source told Page Six that Wendy Williams, quote, looked great and was, quote, in great spirits at the restaurant Fresco by Scotto. She was with 2 previous journalists who seem like friends, and also her niece, who we know was a big advocate for her the past couple of years while she has been under this conservatorship and staying in the facility in New York. So I guess she started dancing at the restaurant, and the entire restaurant started cheering for her, going, Wendy, Wendy. And she got photographed with this like elaborate dessert with sparklers. So she had a night out on the town.
I love that.
my God.
She now, it's seemingly, you know, ever since we've been following along with her story, it seems like luckily her niece and other people who have been kind of spotlighting her story and the fact that she's doing a lot better, right? She's been passing these tests that psychologists and, you know, her doctors have been treating her for. So seemingly she's on the up and up,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is great news.
That's amazing. Where is this restaurant from? Where is she? Where is she? Fresco.
She's in New York.
She's in New York. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Upstate,
in New York.
or is she in like New York City?
The
I think
facility.
she's in the city.
Yeah,
the
she was-
facility was in the city too,
Oh
wasn't
my
it?
God.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So since May of 2022, she has been, Wendy Williams, under a legal guardianship that oversees both her finances and her health after Wells Fargo froze her accounts because there was concern over her ability to manage her affairs.
Right.
And Owen, I remember you said that you had seen a documentary about Wendy at the time she was heavily drinking.
Yeah.
So she was having some symptoms of frontotemporal dementia. That's what they diagnosed her with, which typically does not get better. But since entering this facility, she hasn't been drinking. She's been seeing huge improvements. So it's like, okay, it's time to kind of rewrite things because she's doing better. We thought she might not, but she is making a lot of progress, in which case, okay, she shouldn't have to be under these strict demands.
Right.
Who
and
is
sometimes-
who is her conservatorship? Who is in charge?
It
So-
is this white lady that we don't know her
Oh,
relation
no.
to
She's
Wendy.
not related
She's
to
not
Wendy.
related to
No.
Wendy. It feels like she maybe was somebody appointed by Wells Fargo. If I had to take a stab at it,
Why
Yes.
is Wells Fargo appointing anyone?
You
this
know
is
why?
crazy.
it was her son. It was Wendy's son was spending all her money, and Wells Fargo was like getting the charge. You know when your bank will send you a text message and they're like, "Was this you?"
And it's always me.
But and
usually.
it's always me. It's never not me. It's
Yeah,
always me.
I-
But in Wendy's case, it was not her. But I don't think that he was making it clear that it was not her.
Right,
And
right,
it just
right.
seemed like she was being erratic and
Wow.
You know.
That's so sad.
And then at the time, you know, her health was kind of declining, and she was in this state where
she was drinking a lot.
She was
and-
drinking
Yes.
a lot,
Yeah.
and they used that to put her in
So
the
it just so
conservatorship.
happened. It was coincidental that
Yes.
this was her health was deteriorating
Yes.
because of the drinking, and
Yes.
also that her son was spending a lot of money. So he must have linked it to the drinking habits.
Yes.
or someone linked it to the drinking habits. It was easy to make that.
Yeah,
link.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so. Well, I'm so happy that she's like out on the town and actually, you know, has her life back.
I
in a
know.
way.
No, me too.
And she also recently hired attorney Joe Tacopina, who recently represented ASAP Rocky in his felony assault trial. And as we know, he got ASAP Rocky off. I think Joe has represented a lot of celebrities in high profile cases. So Wendy's like, I'm not playing.
I'm not.
I want
period.
my rights back.
He's about to be the new Robert Kardashian Sr.
Wow.
At this point, like the namesake Joe is about to stand for a lot.
So does he? Okay, wait. Does Wendy still speak to her son? Or
It seems like yes. We did get an update a couple months ago that Wendy was going down to Florida, I believe, for her father's 90-something birthday, and she was reconnecting with family. I don't think that she's put a lot of blame on the son.
That's
It seemed like
beautiful.
he was a teenager, maybe early 20s at the time.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, but that's beautiful that she's like, you know what, past is in the past. Let's move
Yes,
forward.
it doesn't seem like she's holding, at least from, you know, the information that we know, and TMZ came out with a short documentary film, I should say, a couple months ago as well. It didn't seem like she was pointing the fingers at the son.
It seems like she was specifically being very gracious
Wow.
toward the son, like
Wow.
very much not wanting to blame him directly. She kept saying, you know, he's a kid and he had access to all this stuff, and this is meanwhile while she's in the facility.
Wow.
And TMZ can't even talk to her directly.
Well, it
because she's in
also
the
must be
facility.
really hard to grow up with Wendy Williams as a mother who goes to
That's
nothing
super
against
fair.
her. That's
Yeah.
she's amazing, but who goes to work every single day, who's talking very in the zeitgeist and
Yes.
has hot takes. People don't like her some weeks, people love her other
Yes.
like that, and and makes a lot of money. Like that must be
For sure.
tough for him.
I wonder if there's some guilt there on Wendy's side, and maybe that's why she was willing to be so gracious.
Yeah.
In the face of what seemed like blatant fraud.
Totally.
To us.
Totally.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But also,
I
don't
like
spend
that
your
you-
mom's money. Like,
also, period. But I
yeah.
like that you added the nuance there. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess next up for Wendy, there are a few more psychological exams and then also a trial by jury to determine if her guardianship should end. So that's why she got Joe Tacopina on the case.
And you guys think it should end? Are you guys on
Hell
that side?
yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
They need
Totally.
to free Wendy. Leave her the hell alone.
Yes.
Actually.
We're Team Free Wendy.
We're
at the Daily
absolute
Dirty.
big time team.
It's great.
Free.
We need Free Wendy shirts.
We actually should. Should we make merch of? We probably shouldn't make merch of that. That doesn't make sense for us to make.
No, I think it's good.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Thank you. I appreciate.
But we'll definitely be covering this trial.
Yeah.
Great.
We thought we'd do our segment FYP Friday today with our guest co-host Owen Thiele.
Yes.
Oh my God. Have you seen this TikTok?
What is the weirdest thing on your algorithm right now?
TikTok or Instagram? Just TikTok?
Let's talk about both. 'Cause
Whatever algorithm.
Let's talk
Okay.
about both because the algorithms are very different.
They're very
Very
different.
different.
Very different. And I'm
Very.
curious, actually, what your guys' TikTok is versus Instagram.
Got it.
My TikTok is a lot of singing,
Lots of singing.
singing videos of like literally one like. They're not at all seen.
What?
Like I get a lot of young kids singing covers of Ariana Grande, like Eternal Sunshine. Like I get a lot of people who probably auditioned for X Factor or American Idol ultimately did not make it because
Damn.
let me tell you something, they are not that good. But I still like it.
Yes.
And I press like, and sometimes I'll comment saying beautiful.
Wow. So then you keep getting fed that because
So I'm-
TikTok is like, wow, Owen's
Yeah.
a nice guy. He's hitting him with likes. Let's give him more of that.
And I'm getting also a lot of AI cats.
Yes.
Have you guys seen this?
I have seen.
Cats that are like computer generated AI and like hugging a duck, or that's also AI,
Yeah.
hugging a tree. It's very sweet. I don't know what my algorithm's telling me. They're telling me to, I guess, like go outside and hug a tree.
You have
or,
such a pure algorithm.
That's very pure.
I like yours.
I mean, I also have some like really hot guys shirtless with their bulges out.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I keep liking as well. Press like.
Keep feeding me more.
But it is
more.
dark to like see an AI cat, a really pure image, and then like the next one's like a hot guy with his dick out. You're
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
Your
God.
brain is just like zip, zap.
Yeah,
zip.
yeah.
Yes. On my FYP, I've been seeing a lot of the I'm bored. Tell me the most unhinged blank
Totally.
in the comments. And oh my God, I have gotten such good stuff
Wow.
from these posts. I sent one to
Yes,
Fiona.
you did DM me one.
And it was like, I'm bored. Tell me the most unhinged spiritual tips.
Yeah, like
that you
witchy
have.
shit.
Like witchy shit. And in the comments, it's like, whatever he did to you, go into the woods and tell the trees. They are interconnected in their root system, and they will make sure that they get back. They will get your lick back for you. And I was like, what?
I
Talk
loved
to
that
the-
one too.
Or it's like, always make sure that you greet the moon, because the moon like doesn't play about her girls, and the girls will always, pay attention to her or something. And so I've been saying hi to the moon like a motherfucker. Honestly, I've been
No,
like,
100%.
hello, Luna.
You
Love
have
you.
to. You
Yeah.
have to. Oh my God, that would scare the shit out of me.
And don't piss me off, because if you piss me off, I'm telling the trees.
and we all
I'm going to
come
tell the
for you.
trees, and me and the trees are getting you.
Yeah.
So
Something similar came up on my For You page on TikTok the other day, kind of in that spiritual realm, which I need to explain to you guys because
Please.
it just came into my head and I've been thinking about it nonstop all weekend. Basically, this girl was kind of talking about quantum leaping and you know how all timelines, everything, everywhere, all at once, like
Totally.
which is
Stress me
sometimes a little hard for me to understand. She basically says that she was walking in San Francisco a couple weeks ago and walked by this park where years prior she had spent time with her ex-boyfriend, who that weekend she had found out was cheating on her, because that weekend 3 years prior she got this impulse to like go on Instagram, which she hadn't been on, and had a DM from a girl being like, I'm dating your man, et cetera, et cetera. And so she walked by the park and said to her past self, girl, go on Instagram. He's cheating on you. Like yelled that to the park. And then she had this beautiful realization of like, oh my gosh, like you can communicate with your past selves versions of yourself. So that version of her 3 years prior may have received the message. Yeah, both of your jaws are on the floor.
Oh my
so then she said
God.
every time she's driving to and from work, she might pass herself, right? Because you're like, all of the versions of you are existing at the same time. So as I was driving down to San Diego last weekend, when I was driving down
Wait,
the 405.
this is now your story? Or this is
Yes,
still her story?
yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay,
Sorry, I'm jumping into
No.
how
I
to
was
me.
like, oh my God, you experienced it? Okay, wait, keep
Right.
going.
But
Okay.
anyways, how I applied it to my life to
Yeah.
put it into context, so it like makes a little more sense, is as I was driving down to San Diego last Friday, I had this TikTok just like in my mind.
Yeah.
And so I'm on the 405 and I pretend that I'm passing myself from when I moved up from San Diego 4 years ago to LA. And I said, everything's going to work out. You're going to get that job. It's all going to work out. And like, isn't that cool that like we can do that?
my
we can do
God.
that.
Oh my God, I have chills over my entire body.
Wow.
I have so much to say to my past self. Okay, don't wear those jeans that you wore.
Well,
Don't wear those jeans you wore 2 years ago. They are butt ugly, and your ass was hanging out. Don't wear that. Do you know what I mean? That's
Now
what
start rewriting the
totally.
Yeah.
wow.
I know, isn't that cool? So
That's
it's like
beautiful.
your intuition that you might have gotten to get you here could be from your future
Whoa.
self.
Right.
Isn't that
Whoa.
cool?
Yeah.
Like
I
when you get
really
those
love
random
that.
thoughts or ideas, it's like it could be from other versions of yourself telling you.
Totally. And you always get, I feel like a voice pops into your head and you're like, wait, where did that come from? And sometimes you're like, okay, I'm psychic, but maybe it's just your past self.
That's what she said.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I have
Cool,
chills.
right?
Very
I have
cool.
full chills.
So my TikTok is
We're Tyler Henry. You can like Tyler
Whoa.
Henry yourself.
Who I've been on his waiting list for 8 years.
Oh
so
my
somebody
God.
let me off the waiting list.
100%.
let her off.
To Tyler.
Free
okay?
Wendy and let her off.
Free Wendy and put me on.
Yeah, put
Okay?
Sequoia
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah.
My TikTok is like much more educational.
Mm-hmm.
My Instagram Reels algorithm is fucking haunted. It's just hilarious stuff, but like weird.
Like, what is it?
oh my God, there's this one hilarious lesbian chick who always like comes on and is like, I don't think she's being serious, but the comments are so funny. And she comes on and being like, I'm looking for a baby girl who I can take care of you. She got this like, I think she's from Florida. Oh my God, she's really funny,
That
but
sounds hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I'm
Right,
looking
yeah.
that up.
We're in.
That sounds hot.
she's big on Instagram
Yeah.
because the comments, you open the comments and it's just like so funny. I think the comments on both Instagram and TikTok like make what you're watching that much funnier.
I mean, I always said this from the start. I remember in the pandemic, TikTok started, and I was like, okay, everyone commenting is a comedian.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You guys are genius.
So funny.
Hilarious.
The comments are the best part.
Totally. It makes the content.
Yeah.
It makes the content.
Yeah.
So when I want to laugh out loud, I actually go on Instagram Reels because it's more like Vine. That's how I would describe it. It's more like Vine for me. Like it's like short and hilarious and like, yeah, just kind of like slapstick humor.
I love
Okay.
that. I love that.
I'm never mad at a slapstick
I'm
moment.
not
No.
either. I'm not
Yeah.
either. Wow.
What about you guys?
What's your Sequoia?
Other stuff I've been seeing on oh my God, my favorite video that I explained yesterday to y'all off air. There's this video that came up that was like, somebody asked me, have I seen this one iconic movie? And when I haven't seen your favorite movie, it's normal. It's fine. And I don't have time
Wait,
to go and watch this movie.
Totally.
When you have not seen my favorite movie, you are an idiot
Totally.
and uncultured and
Lazy.
you need to stop everything that you're doing right now
I completely
and go
relate.
watch that fucking movie.
I
And
feel like
I've
we
never
wait
related
real
so
quick,
hard.
not to interrupt. I feel like we
Yes.
have to add the context to what movies we were talking about that I was
Sure.
making fun of you for never
Sure.
seeing.
That's
Like
fine.
what?
Harry Potter.
And,
Oh, my love. I'm leaving.
and what about it? Absolutely. And the movie that I want everybody to see is
Yeah.
The Cheetah Girls. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
both
you.
two movies that if you haven't seen, you're both uncultured.
And to be fair, I've seen the first Harry Potter. I've seen
Totally.
Sorcerer's Stone.
But you don't know what happens to Snape.
And I don't even know who that is. And I've seen Prisoner of Azkaban.
You know what? That's great.
Thank you.
Have you seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
See, again, I haven't seen Harry Potter, but like, you haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I haven't seen Harry Potter either.
You
Owen.
haven't seen Harry Potter.
You know,
guys,
I've seen piecemeal.
Right. Very peaceful.
we're on TikTok.
No, at sleepovers growing up, people would want to watch Harry Potter, so I'd entertain it and I'd pretend that I knew what was up
going on.
with the world.
Well, that's
Yeah.
very me. I lie about every single
Yeah.
TV show I've ever not seen. Every time, like to be honest, Seinfeld, I've not watched it, but I know it's iconic and I know it's brilliant and I'm obsessed with Larry
And you're
David.
friends with Cassie.
And I'm obsessed with Cassie. And hey, Cassie, I love you so deeply. And I've, of course, told you that I've watched this show and I haven't. But guess what? If you guys needed me to write a letterboxed review of Seinfeld, I could do it because I have read up on it.
Okay.
Couldn't we all?
Spark
I've also
notes.
never seen Seinfeld, but I also feel very
Totally.
confident that I could write a letterbox review on it.
You know what? I had this same realization or similar to your TikTok you saw, Sequoia, where it's like if someone asks you, oh, have you seen this movie? And you answer, yeah, I just don't really remember what happened. You know you're lying because you're like, I don't remember. Any movie I've actually seen, I pretty much do remember most of it.
Totally.
So when I'm saying, oh, yeah, I have seen that, I just don't really remember. It's like, bitch, you're lying.
It's an outright lie.
It's an outright lie. So when other people do that to me, once I had that realization moment where I came clean to myself, I looked in the mirror and said, like, you be lying about some of the movies you see. Now when someone says that to me, of like, yeah, I have seen that, I just don't remember what happens. I'm like, you didn't see that fucking movie.
Totally.
Wow.
Okay, can I tell you something though? I don't know why this happened. Maybe this is my past self coming to me. But I'm like, okay, I know the movie Made in Manhattan. Do you know this movie with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes, absolutely.
I can't tell you what happened, but I know I've watched it multiple times. So maybe it's not a lie.
Okay.
Maybe it's just
Okay.
like there was a weird time in your life and you blacked it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I remember I was like at a random hotel with my ex-boyfriend and we turned it on and I was like, I think I was so annoyed with his presence that I blacked out the movie. I wish I had seen the movie and not him. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I wish.
Where J-Lo is a maid in Manhattan. That's what it's about.
Okay, ultimately that's the premise.
And she's just like a beautiful
She's
supermodel maid,
stunning.
and
she falls in love with a rich man.
Yeah.
Wait,
She
I actually
does
know everything I
in
could like
real
about
life.
it. I actually
Very
know every
often.
single thing about that. Yep.
So you have seen it.
Yep. Seen it.
Okay. Yeah, and I still haven't seen Pirates or
Harry Potter.
or anything else.
And you haven't seen Cheetah Girls?
Oh, I've seen Cheetah Girls.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I was gonna say now she didn't say that because
no.
I was
Okay.
actually
Cheetah Girls was my first concert
We were
ever.
gonna, oh yes,
okay,
you did
okay,
say
good.
that. We were
Okay.
gonna sit down and watch the Cheetah Girls.
Okay, good.
Because
Okay.
again, everybody must stop what they're doing and watch my favorite movie.
Of course.
We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with TV Tuesday to discuss Owen's exciting new TV show, Adults.
welcome back to the Daily Dirty. I'm Fiona Shea,
I'm Sequoia Holmes.
I'm Owen Thiele.
and it's time for TV Tuesday.
TV Tuesday.
Woo, I love that.
Me too.
Owen has a new show coming soon to FX on May 28th called
Yeah.
Adults.
Yeah.
Adults follows a group of young friends doing their best to become people despite not really being good or people quite yet. In the show, Samir, Billy, and Paul Baker. Is it Issa or Issa?
Issa.
Okay. Issa and Anton, that's you,
That's me.
are crashing at Samir's childhood home
Yeah.
where they're sharing meals, anxiety, and from time to time, toothbrushes. Fucking yikes.
Yeah. It's, well, I feel like we're all kind of going through this, even though we're in our later 20s. It's so sad to hear.
Yeah.
So
in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is 27 mid or late?
Late, babe.
Can I be honest? Mid.
Is it mid?
Can I tell you why?
Wow,
25,
Sequoia.
26,
She
27.
really gave me a up down too.
I think late 20s. I'm 28. I give myself, I still think I'm mid.
No, you're late, baby.
I still think I'm mid 20s. 29 is like, oh, that's late 20s.
Not there's only one
30
year of
is late
late
20s.
Period.
30
now
is
I'm
late
in.
20s.
30s, late 20s.
Now
I
I'm
like
in.
that.
I'm not kidding.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm not kidding. 31 is early 30s. This is just the truth.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyways, I feel like we're all going through this where
Mm-hmm.
it's like you guys have a job, so actually maybe not. But it's this thing where it's like even with a job,
Yeah.
right? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Laundry for me is tough. Sorry,
Very
I'm just gonna
much.
say it. Like
Very much.
I do it, but it comes out different colors and it comes out wet. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It's just tough, and I wish that my mom or dad were there every second of the day, but they're not. And you're kind of in that period where you're trying to text them. You're trying to text them or call them, but sometimes they're not answering because they're living their lives, you know. And it's kind of a scary thing in your late 20s or mid 20s to grow up.
That is so incredibly real. And as someone who grew up with a mom who did my laundry until I left for college,
Oh yeah.
I remember those first couple loads being
course.
like, what the fuck
Yeah, like, do you
is
put the
going
detergent right on?
I'm like on top. Does it go in a receptacle?
Of course.
Do I bleach everything?
Of
Like, what am I?
course.
I remember calling my mom, being like, "Mom, help me. What am I supposed to do?" And then she was embarrassed that she never taught me how to do laundry.
Well, yeah, no, but there's also the thing where we have to give our parents a break for that, because it's like that's a life skill that you think that you'll just kind of learn
You just
eventually.
know,
You just
yeah.
know, but let me tell you something, Mom. I love you dearly. I am bleaching everything and they shouldn't be bleached.
Yeah.
My pants now have bleach splotches on them. It's a disaster.
Which literally is like your 20s, right? Like you said, you're kind of navigating and just figuring out along the way
Yeah.
with your friends too.
Yes.
Like you're learning from each other with relationships and
Totally.
with jobs, and like, you should do this next time. Like I feel like I take so many notes from my friends because we all are living our lives individually. We come together on the weekends when we're hanging out.
Totally.
We share our experiences.
Well, it's a collective thing. We've actually
Yes.
I formed a community with my friends in real life where
Yeah.
it's like, hey guys, I have to ask you this embarrassing thing.
Yeah.
Where is the dry cleaners? And they're
Right.
like, Owen, look up dry cleaners. There's one on every block. You know what I mean? Like I'm
right.
like, I literally like, and I sound so dumb saying that, but it's really actually tough to
Yes.
grow up. And I feel like this is kind of the FX version of that, where
Nice.
crazy things happen, and because it's FX and FX gives us such freedom
Yeah.
in what we say and how we say it, it's
Cool.
really honest and really true, and I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And how does your character on Adults differ from you in real life?
Well, I think my character on Adults has a real job that I have a finance job. So I actually go to an office every day, which is so different than me. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I wake up and I'm like, hey, what time is it? I can go back to sleep. Like that's my vibe in real life. So in the show, I actually have a 9 a.m. job that I have, a 9 to 5. I have to get to it. So that's different. And also I think in the show, I'm more, I'm very outspoken in real life. And in the show, I'm kind of figuring out how to speak my truth.
Nice.
Which is something I was very lucky to figure out early. But I feel like in your 20s, especially gay, black, all of these things,
sure.
I'm like, it's a real representation of how we kind of are figuring that
Yeah.
out and actually like living that truth.
In real time.
Yeah, in real time. Yeah.
And the show takes place in New York, I
Yes,
believe,
yes.
right?
Yes. Love a
Okay,
New York
so
City
will
set
you
show.
tell us a little bit about your thoughts on New York versus LA, and even how New York like almost is a character probably in the show?
Totally. Well, I grew up in LA.
Yes.
So I love LA. I'm an LA baby. But it was so fun. We filmed in Toronto actually, and we
Okay.
faked it as New York. I
Got
maybe shouldn't be
it.
saying that, but that's the truth.
I read it, so
That-
we people can look.
Okay, people
Yeah.
can look online. Yeah, it was. I love New York. I would never live there. I went to NYU and I dropped out after 2 weeks.
No, you did not.
Dropped out after
Stop.
literally
You
2
were like,
weeks.
get me back to
I
LA.
was like, I need sun. I'm depressed.
Take me
I was like, I have
home.
seasonal depression. I don't even know what
Yes.
that is, but I need to get home.
Yes.
Yeah. I love New York. It's very independent. You have to be very independent in New York. In LA, you're in a car
Yeah.
alone, or your parents are driving you around, which mine don't do now, but they did for a long time. But in New York, you're riding the subway alone. You're 13 on the subway, meeting new people, seeing.
Yeah.
It's just it's a culture shock. It was a culture shock for me from LA to New York.
Yeah.
I feel like, which is kind of what the show is about.
Right.
Being we all live in New York, we're all from New York, but it's like, wow, when your parents cut you off, you're alone. You're alone in this city. Whereas in LA, it's like you can be in your car and you could,
Yeah, you can be coddled a
yeah,
little bit.
exactly. You can be coddled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in New York, you're kind of like in the street. You're kicked.
You're
to
in the
wolves.
streets.
You're in the
You're in the streets. Yeah.
Not
literally
in
in-
the good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love New York. Do you guys like New York?
I do. I really like New York.
Where are you from?
I'm from Long Beach, California.
I hear you.
So LA County. But I do like New York. I've always wanted to do a short stint there, but not necessarily
Live there.
move there for
Yeah.
forever. But I wanted to do like a summer there.
Yeah.
But I'm scared of the winter. I'm just gonna be full honest. I lived in DC for a little bit. Winters don't get nearly as harsh in DC.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there for the winter. I was there for the fall, and I was freezing.
That's how I felt.
yes.
That's how I felt. And by the way, I moved in to NYU in September, which is like a beautiful time in New York. It's the
Exactly.
most beautiful time. All you need is a light jacket. And I was literally like, hey, Mom, I got to come home. I'm freezing. I was like, my ankles are cold. So I left.
Was it really 2 weeks, Owen?
It was Yeah, it was 2 weeks. I mean, I could tell you a story that's so dark, and
Please,
maybe I shouldn't. But
please tell us
I'm
some
still-
20s, some early 20s
Well,
adult stories.
I'm still technically. This is so dark. I'm still technically enrolled in NYU because
I love it.
I took a leave of absence, and you're still technically enrolled until you officially drop out.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, if all else fails, if nothing works for me, I can go back to NYU.
No, that's so real.
That's kind of like I'm gonna do it until I'm 35.
Wait,
I think
I love that.
it's my truth.
I'm also technically enrolled still at USC
See, there you
because
go.
I dropped out of grad school at USC and I took a leave of
absence,
absence,
of course.
and they still send me like
Yeah.
emails, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Totally.
my-
Come to the library.
all right.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, you guys, I haven't been here since
So long.
2018.
I know. That's how I feel. It's the exact same
Because if you were to say, okay, I'm unenrolled, then you would have to reapply and everything.
Yeah, so
okay,
I'm
leave
too
that
afraid.
door open.
I know, I'm too
Right.
afraid.
Leave that open.
Leave the door
Right?
open. Yes.
I know.
That's awesome.
My parents are like, Owen, you're on an FX show. You got very lucky. They're like, I think you're okay. I'm like, no. You don't know the business.
Leave the door
I'm like, you gotta leave the door open.
ajar.
I could say something horrible on the Daily Dirty, and then have to go back to school.
Hello.
Who knows?
Very much.
Hello, New York.
Yes, hello, New York.
So how long did you work on this project? How did it kind of come to fruition? What was the audition process like?
Such a good question. Okay, so because I started acting a little before COVID, like
Okay.
2018, 2019, I am used to Zoom auditions.
Okay.
So, which are fine, but you have a computer and you're in the comfort of your own home.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. You can shut the computer and then like lay on the couch
Yeah.
and be with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This was different. This was like a real life audition that you see in movies and you're like, you hear horror stories about, where you're in a room
Yeah.
with 14 very talented young actors who you've seen on your screens,
Yeah.
who you're like jealous of and scared of at the same time, and they're all competing for the same roles. It was crazy. It was like they'd call your name in,
Yeah.
you would go in, you would do your scene, and then you would go back into the room with people that you're secretly obsessed with, who you
Right.
stalk on Instagram. It was so scary. I don't think I did that well. Ultimately I had the shits.
Well, you did, obviously.
No, I did well enough to get the role.
Yeah.
And thank God for that. But I had the shits. I had the shits. And I asked this woman, true story, I said to her, when I was coming up in the elevator, I thought she was a random woman who worked in the building. I said to her, is there a bathroom that's more private? And she was like, yeah, there's one downstairs. I was like, great. And then I walk into the room.
No.
Probably 20 minutes later, and she's one of the producers on the room. So I had asked her if there was a private restroom.
Right.
Literally,
She knew.
Oh my God, she's
She
like,
knew.
this kid reeks of diarrhea. I'm like, shit.
It
But-
seems very adults coded.
Well, I
Maybe
know.
that played into your
Can I be honest?
advantage.
I think that got me the job.
I think it
Yeah.
sometimes does, right? When you
Totally.
like kind of are just like authentic. They're like,
Totally.
he'll be able to sell this role.
Totally. He's like, you're shitting yourself? Yeah, that's
You're
that's
hired.
our speed.
That's
Yeah.
Anton. That's him.
Anton.
Yeah.
Well, clearly your acting and your auditions have been going well because you're also in Overcompensating.
I will say Benito Skinner, who made that show,
Yes.
who's the creator of that show, is a friend of mine. So that's kind of, I call myself a Nepo friend. My parents aren't in the business, but I've somehow become friends with these people who I'm just kind of like, hey, throw me a bone, will you?
I love that.
And they put me in their shows, and it's genius.
If
Yeah,
there's
everyone
one
has to
thing-
do it.
I love friend nepotism.
Right?
More than like anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because it's also
totally.
like you have to work hard to make friends. It's not like you were born into these friendships. You
Right.
gotta be
Totally.
cool. You
Hello.
gotta
Totally.
network. Like
I cultivated this.
yeah, it's
I'm
still
good at
like,
a party. I might not be so good on screen, but I'm good at a party, and they'll put me in their shows.
Wait, don't say that.
Yeah,
I
I'm sure
love
you're great.
86,
Oh, thank
Cassie's
you.
web
Thank you
series
so
where I
much.
first saw you.
That's
acting.
a Nepo friend. I was friends with her growing up, and she put me in it.
I mean,
There
that's
you
all
go.
we can ask for.
Totally.
When you go into these audition rooms, does everybody look like you? Like, did they typecast? Like, was it like, we're looking for Owen Thiele type?
You know what? For FX, they didn't.
Okay.
There were they saw everyone. They wanted the character to be gay, or they hoped for it to be gay. But I think some straight people read it. Some bisexual. Everyone read it. And so I was very lucky that they landed on me because they kind of had the
You
pick of the
ultimately
litter.
got it because you were shitting in the private bathroom.
Well, that's why.
At the end of the day, yeah.
That's
well,
why.
we can't wait to watch you in
Oh my
adults.
God, I'm so excited. Thanks.
That
So
is
excited.
it for today's episode. Thank you so much, Owen Thiele, for co-hosting in Hannah's Place. Check out Owen's podcast, In Your Dreams, wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us at The Daily Dirty. Tune in tomorrow as we get down and dirty in the weeds of the biggest stories in pop culture.
Wow.
Bye,
Thank you guys for
everyone.
having me.
Of course.
Thank you, Owen.
Bye.